Okay guys, so here we are. I do want to show you how to do this sewing, and if you can see this sewing, it is without you can't see where the sewing is, like it's invisible sewing. The problem is that with this color, because there is the black, I know that you can't really see what is going on, so that's why I am doing the tutorial with these two samples. I did the granny square but with light colors. So let me show you how to do this invisible sewing here, and yeah, let's start. So what I'm gonna do, actually the invisible sewing, it is not done in the front, but it is done in the back, which means that we are going to sew this side together. I am going to do it with this color, but you can do it also with a dark color, that is not a problem. So first of all, you're gonna have to do a big knot at the beginning, and then first I want to show you which loop are we sewing. So if you see here, we have two loops. We have the front loop, which is the one on the right side, and then we have the back loop, which is the one on the back side, and the same thing is over here as well. So if you can see, this is the front, and this is the front loop, which is on the front side, and then we have the back loop, which is at the back side. So we are going to sew the back loop with a back loop. So here is the back loop, and here is the back loop. I hope this makes sense. We are not going to sew the front loops, but we are going to sew them from the back side. At least this is how it works for me. It's very easy. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm going to put this yarn firstly, a little bit tangle it. I'm going to tangle this knot first. Then what I'm gonna do, here we have 2 chains, so I have 1, 2 chains where I have the hole, and I am going to grab the back loop of chain. So I'm working all from the back side, right? The back loop of the first chain here. So 1 chain I'm going to leave it on this side, and 1 chain comes with this side. So just the back loop. Okay, and now this back loop of this chain over here, I'm going to connect it again on the back side with the back loop of the chain over here. So the back loop of this chain goes with the back loop of this chain. So I went here, I grabbed the back loop, and now I'm going to, here's front loop, and then here is back loop. So my chains are 1 and 2. So not the front, but the back loop of the chain. So we are kind of also matching the stitches, okay? So this chain here corresponds to this chain over here. Then I'm going to insert the sewing needle on the next back loop, which is the stitch here. So then I'm going to sew it here on the back loop of the next one, and go back where I have the back loop of the first chain. Then I am going to the back loop of the next stitch and go back to the back loop of the first stitch of the blue. Then I'm going to, so where I have the yarn, I'm going 1 stitch further, okay? But where the yarn is not, I'm going back to the same stitch. Always back loop. So I'm going to the next back loop, but back to where the yarn came from on the other side. So since my yarn is here, I am going to the back loop of the next stitch, but go back to the back loop where I came from. I hope this makes sense. So this is how this stitch is going. Just go. I have the yarn here, so that means back loop of the next stitch, but here, no, I'm not going to go to the next stitch, but to the stitch, to the back loop that I came from before. But here I'm going one further. And here I'm going back to the back loop where I came from. And here one more further back loop, but back to the stitch, to the back loop where I came from. So I really hope that this makes sense. So you just continue that until, so I'm back loop here, until the last stitch of the corner over here. Yeah, so this is my chain. So here I am on my chain. I'm going to go back to the back loop here. And then I'm going to the back loop of the first chain here, and then go back to the back loop of the first chain on the other side. So now I have all the corresponding stitches one by one. And another thing that I'm going to do here is just pull a little bit the yarn. It would have been better if I would have pulled it from the beginning. You should pull it and not leave it very, very loose as I did, but this can be fixed. Here it is. Now I pulled it. I'm going to tangle the end so it will not escape. And here it is. You can now see that the connection here, because we have sewn the back loop with the back loop, and these two front loops, you can't see. It is invisible sewing. So yeah guys, this is how I would sew two granny squares and have an invisible sewing. I really hope you enjoyed this short tutorial, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!